So, I want to talk about the Mac 16-inch M2 Pro Max. Oh, this big chunk is right here. Because I picked this bad boy up around, 4 months ago at this point? And it cost, if you want to go ahead and let me scroll down for you, it costs, actually, it's not going to show me here. I'm going to have to, Apple's website is great. I'm going to have to do there. There we go. $34.99. Talk about a beautiful price tag, right? $34.99 for this bad boy. And this is the model I got, by the way. This is the model in my hand right here. Is a M2 Pro Max chip, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte, and that's it. Now, realistically, do you need more than 32 gigabytes of RAM? Based on what I have used it for, and a lot of it has been Blender, video editing, gaming to some degree. I'll talk about it in a second. 32 gigabytes of RAM have been okay, but especially if you're running Windows Parallels on this bad boy, you might want more than 32 gigabytes of RAM. At 64 might be the sweet spot, in all honesty. Especially if you're getting an M2 Pro Max chip, you probably should go all out there and, go for it. Now, let me talk about my personal reviews before I get into the problems, okay? This bad boy has an amazing battery life. This thing is on all day. There's times where if I don't charge this and I just leave it idle, it will be ready to go 20 hours later. Not lose much battery life at all. Battery on this thing is impressive. To say the least, it's very, very impressive. And everything about this is amazing. Like, yes, the port selection isn't the greatest. You get on one side here, I'll show you guys this. You get a a SD card reader. You get the MagSafe. Actually, no, that's not the MagSafe, is it? No, that's the HDMI USB-C. On the other side here, we get the MagSafe, 2 USB-C ports, and a headphone jack. So, port selection, not the worst in the world. I'm at a point now where if you own a Mac, you probably own 1,000 dongles, right, to try to add stuff to it, let's be honest. Macs aren't really known for the port selection. But with the new 15-inch MacBook Air and how light it is, how small it is this even worth it? Well, let's talk about gaming. Now, Macs had never been known for gaming, right? But when Apple showed off this laptop, they made a huge emphasis on gaming. Saying, listen, at the end of the day, this thing has an M2 Pro Max. It can absolutely destroy anything, right? It's the equivalent, in all honesty, of a 3060, a NVIDIA RTX 3060. It can game pretty dang well. It can get the job done for most games as long as they're compatible with Mac. Because if you try to run Windows Parallels on this bad boy, there is no DirectX 12 support yet. So any Windows game, 99% of Windows games, will not work on this. Even though this has 32 gigabytes of RAM, M2 Pro Max chip, just absolutely amazing features on it. I can't run the most basic Steam games on this. Crossovers doesn't work. Parallels doesn't work. There's no DirectX 12 support on this device yet. Maybe once they get DirectX 12 support on it, it'll be better for gaming. But if you're buying this thinking that, this is going to be your gaming beast, and for $3,400, I probably recommend just actually building an actual PC at this point, it's not going to be the thing. The reason why I bought this is because I have a hybrid lifestyle. Sometimes I'm home, working on my computer, doing my YouTube channels, and then other times I like going places, exploring, go ahead and bring this bad boy along, and I'm able to actually, edit videos, edit photos. I also do photography. And I wanted a place, to game that wasn't my normal setup. No. No, 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 no. And I'm not saying that with the fact I'm coming from 4090 to this, but for $3,400, Apple, you have absolutely crazy, man. Because it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. For gaming purposes. For actual purposes of using Blender, 3D animation, for again, like I said, Lightroom, Photoshop, this thing is a breeze. This thing is amazing. For editing, it's also amazing. If you use Filmora, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro, whatever, it's also amazing for that. So I'm not trying to make this kind of sounds like a video like I'm trashing this thing and saying this is awful, it's the worst thing ever. No, my point is, if you're trying to use it for any way for gaming, please do not buy this product. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anything else but gaming, this bad boy right here is an absolute tank and a monster. But it's going to tell you, because of how big it is, that it is a monster. I mean, this thing is heavy as anything. I have used the new 15-inch MacBook Air, and that thing is light as a feather. When you compare it to this big chungus of a device, it's a little crazy. But even, again, like I said, if you are thinking about buying it, 32 gigabytes of RAM, it gets the job done. It really does. I don't really have any problems. As long as you're not running any virtual machines, Windows, Mac, or Linux on this, you're not really going to have too much problem. But for basic everyday tasks, if you do some coding, Python, C++, you're not going to have any problem either. So, overall, my review of this bad boy after, I think it was, 4 or 5 months now, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10. If Windows parallels, and again, that's not on the machine. Like, that's not the machine's problem that Windows parallels doesn't give you DirectX 12 support. If that gets DirectX 12 support, this bad boy will be a 10 out of 10. 1000%. Because everything else, like I said before, it does everything else perfect. No problem at all. Battery life, performance, power, everything. It's just that one simple factor. And is literally the only reason why I cannot just completely ditch my PC setup and just go to this Mac. I wanted to use this Mac as my full-on everything, but I can't because of that. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.